Hello, I'm David Rose, and here's a look at some of the stories we're working with Crime Stoppers on for Washington's Most Wanted, starting with a car prowler who cased the Walmart parking lot in Lacey, even going shopping before shattering a victim's window to steal her purse. Now detectives are hoping you can identify this guy. You know, these are some great surveillance images as he enters and leaves the store. I want you to take note of the beard, that gold necklace, and the shiny medallion that he's wearing.
So this person looked like they committed a crime of opportunity. So somebody left a purse in open view in the back of their car. So this guy pulls into the parking lot. He parked near it, actually stays for a little bit of time, walks around the cars after he exits his vehicle. Then he goes into the store. When he comes back to his car after making a purchase, he notices a vehicle that had been parked there for quite a while was still in the parking lot. He gets out of his vehicle after he starts it, to prepare for his getaway, supposedly. And then he breaks out the back window of this car, takes the purse, goes directly back to his car, and then makes his getaway.
Well, the car he broke into and the purse he stole belonged to Joanne. She knows it was a mistake to leave her purse in plain sight, let alone in her car at all. But that's never an excuse for a low-life crook to cause a victim like Joanne serious time, money, and worry.
Car keys were in there, house keys were in there, some mail, of course, because you keep everything in your purse. I was more worried about, since my house keys were there and they knew where we lived, are they going to come to my house late at night, take the car? Are they going to come break in? And all of a sudden, a nice day trip turns into, great, I got to get my window fixed. Great, I got to change the locks on my house because my house keys are missing. It costs quite a bit of money to get your car rekeyed, especially nowadays with all the electronic locks and things like that. So we spent like $3,000 worth of just trying to get all that stuff fixed. But it's a lot of sleepless nights of trying to oh, is everything going to work out? Is everything okay? It's not fun. Not fun at all.
This happened on November 9th, and the cameras inside the Lacey Walmart are much better than the ones outside, so you get a really good look at the suspect that they want to take into custody. He even walked in with his hat off to show that he's bald or shaves his head. If you can tell Lacey police who he is, where to find him, or anything else that can help detectives identify him, submit the information to Crime Stoppers of the South Sound. It's anonymous. Call 1-800-222-TIPS or use the P3 Tips app. You'll get a cash reward of up to $1,000 if it's your tip that leads to his arrest. A word of advice: if you are a convicted felon who is not legally allowed to have firearms, you should not be riding shotgun with a shotgun in a Mustang with a drunk driver doing donuts in the middle of the street. It doesn't take a genius, but that reckless joyride in Auburn last year got tonight's top fugitive, Keith Rouse, arrested and charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. But then he failed to show up to court. So the King County Sheriff's Criminal Warrant Unit is asking for your help tonight to find him.
Back in September of 2018, Auburn police conducted a traffic stop where Keith was the passenger. The driver was stopped for doing donuts. He was DUI. Keith was also contacted. He was also intoxicated as the passenger, but the main concern for the officers is that they could see a shotgun lying on the back seat of a Mustang in easy arm's reach from where the passenger was sitting.
Rouse is also wanted by the Department of Corrections for escape, breaking probation on a drug conviction. He's got another bust for attempting to elude in 2017 that got him tagged as a threat to law enforcement. He claimed he would shoot police after running from officers who found him hiding in a tree. Rouse's rap sheet also includes domestic violence, assault, and obstruction.
He knows that he's wanted and he is on the run, it appears. He doesn't want to go back to jail. He's been contacted in Auburn. He's been contacted in Covington. He actually was involved in a shoplift that turned into a robbery at a GameStop there in Covington. Again, DOC hasn't been able to find him, and either have we. So detectives asked me if we could get this on Washington's Most Wanted.
Well, Rouse is also known to hang out in the Kent area. Keith Rouse is 23 years old. He is 6 feet 4 inches tall, and he weighs 168 pounds. If you can tell deputies where he's hiding, you will remain anonymous. Submit a tip through Crime Stoppers by using the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. You can download it for free, or you can always call 1-800-222-TIPS. You never have to give your name, and if you can tell deputies where to find him, you will get a cash reward of up to $1,000. Now to Yakima and the hunt for this 4-time felon caught with a firearm. Yakima police say the 9mm handgun was loaded and stuffed underneath the driver's seat of a stolen car that Susan Burnaroos was pulled over in last year. Officers also found a golf ball-sized chunk of meth and a bunch of baggies to sell it. Burnaroos pled guilty to dealing drugs and illegally having a gun. She was sentenced to more than 7 years in prison last month. A judge then gave her 2 weeks to handle her personal affairs, but she never showed up to start her time in prison. Her felony convictions include drugs and residential burglary. Susan Burnaroos is 38 years old, 5'8", 170 pounds. She's got a pierced upper lip. She also has a whole bunch of tattoos, including the one you see there on her right shoulder. If you can tell Yakima police how to find her, use the P3 Tips app on your cell phone or call 1-800-222-TIPS. Crime Stoppers is always anonymous, and they'll pay you a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the tip leads to her arrest. Tonight, a family in pain after this man was murdered just a block from his home. Pierce County Sheriff's detectives need your help tonight to solve this case. His body was found on a rural road riddled with bullets. 32-year-old John Willie Smith died from multiple gunshot wounds. Now, someone passing by A Street and 106th Street East in Parkland saw Smith in the road at about 1:20 a.m. on November 23rd. Smith's neighbors say they heard gunfire about an hour earlier.
It's really at this point who done it. We don't have a lot of information. We're canvassing neighborhoods, we're looking for video, we're looking for anything that might give us some type of lead, but so far we haven't found any. What we do know is our victim was found and he'd been shot and he was deceased on the ground. And it sounds like possibly there may have been some gunshots about an hour before that, and so we're looking into that time frame. But we could sure use some tips and we could sure use the public's help to try and get us going and get this one solved.
Detectives are looking for any clues that could help lead to the arrest of Smith's killer, including information on any suspicious persons or vehicles seen in the area around the time of the shooting. And you will stay anonymous. Use the P3 Tips app or call the hotline 1-800-222-TIPS. And you'll get a cash reward of up to $1,000 if you know who shot and killed John Willie Smith IV.
Hi, I'm Earl Carner, the director and founder of Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound, and I'm here to ask for your help. Most of you probably aren't aware that Crime Stoppers is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization in the state of Washington. We have to raise all the money used to pay the cash rewards for tips from viewers like you. Since 1988, Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound has helped countless victims and solved close to 12,000 felony crimes. In the last year alone, we have paid out tens of thousands of dollars in cash rewards to anonymous tipsters throughout the state of Washington. Because of that success, the reward fund is facing a serious shortfall. So I'm making a personal appeal to each of you to consider making a 100% tax-deductible donation to our Crime Stoppers program. Just go to crimestoppers.com and click the donation button to see the various ways you can give back to help us continue fighting crime in your communities. I want to personally say thanks for all you've done to make our program successful, and I truly appreciate the consideration of my request.
Well, Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound is one of 5 Crime Stoppers programs that we partner with across the state. They are all nonprofit organizations, and they need your support. Next weekend, in fact, there's a great way you can help out Crime Stoppers of the South Sound. They're having the annual Reindeer Run. It's the program's biggest fundraiser of the year. So important to help them get this cash because they use that money to pay rewards to you when you help solve cases and keep our community safe. So the run happens again at the Regional Athletic Complex in Olympia. There is a certified 5K run. There's also a mile-long candy cane dash for the kids, and it's free.
The kids and the adults can come out, they can meet a whole bunch of police officers. We'll have Thurston County Sheriff's Office out there. We'll have Lacey Police Department, Olympia Police Department. We'll also have the firefighters out there and all sorts of first responders. So it's a great interaction. We'll even have Santa Claus there greeting the kids and giving out candy canes.
Well, that's a look at some of the cases that Crime Stoppers and police need your help to solve this weekend. To see the full list, join me for Washington's Most Wanted. Airs Friday nights at 11 on Q13 Fox, Saturday night at 10 on Joe TV, and 10:30 on Fox TV stations in Yakima, Tri-Cities, and Spokane. Together, let's make sure these criminals have nowhere left to hide.